Hiya, Mr. Jones here. Yeah, I was really impressed yesterday. With a lot of the conversions. People were really good with money. I think you obviously pop down the shops and obviously buy some sweets, because I was really impressed with how people could convert between pence and pounds and pence. I'm really impressed. A little bit tricky when confronted with thousands of pence. We really don't come across thousands of pence very often, but 1,000p or 1,000 pennies is the same or equivalent to £10. Okay, so if I think of £1 and make it 10 times bigger, so I times it by 10. If I multiply 100 pennies by 10, if I multiply 100 by 10, I get 1,000. That's something good to remember for maths. You're ever given a question and it mentions 1,000 pence, think about that being equivalent to £10. Okay, so if I was given something like that, I know that £1,000 is what? A thousand pence, sorry, is £10. So I would know that that would be £82 and 68. Okay, we don't come across it very often. It's worth looking out for and remembering. 1,000 pennies is equal to £10. Therefore, 8,000 pennies would be 8 times bigger than 10, would be 80. I know that 200 pence is £2. That would be £82, leaving me my 68 pence left over. Okay. That's probably a bit more year 4 and year 5, but there was a question where it brought in 1,000 pence. Okay, let's go to my next slide. Okay, this of course are my answers from yesterday. So if you haven't double checked already, have a go through, pretend you're doing a purple pen. So hopefully those are the answers. If you've got any problems, you can always just go on Portfolio and let me know. Okay, send your work in and say that you might be having a problem, and I'll give you some extra feedback. Okay, so that's the answers for lessons 2 answers. Okay, let's go on to now. Oh, there, let me rub this out. I've just done this video once, but I had somebody walking in on me, which is very annoying. But these things happen during lockdown. Okay, so here, very interestingly, I thought, if you can work this out. I'm not going to give you any more clues. All I'm going to say, 10 and sticks, 1 and dots. I want you to come up with the answers. I want you to use your brain. So I want you to fill that table in using that information. Can you do that for me, please? Okay, so you can freeze that now and have a go with this fluency flirt first. So there it is. Okay, let's go on to our slides of today. Look, what we're looking at today was looking at to add amounts of money. New learning is practice, so we can work out how much the cake and tea will cost Sophia. Okay, so if I go into a shop, it's important that I can add money. So I'm making sure that the person who's serving me is giving me the correct money or charging me the correct amount. Okay, it's really important to be able to add money. It really is something that we do most days if you go shopping or if you're an adult, is we work out money. You don't want to be people to rip you off financially. So we need to be able to process and add amounts of pounds and pence. Okay, new learning is practice, so we can work out how much things cost, how much the cake and tea will cost Sophia. Okay, so let's have a look at my first question. My first question is quite simply, can I have a cup of tea and a slice of cake, please? So we've got Sophia asking for tea and cake. Okay, tea is £1.20. How much is a slice of cake? £2.32. If I was doing that in my head, I would probably, what would you do? What would you do first if you were adding £1.20 to £2.32? I would probably add the pounds at first. £2 and £1 is £3, and then I'd add my pennies up. 32 in my head, add 2 lots of 10 would give me 52. It's a bit like here. I started with £1.20. I've added the cake, £2.32. I wanted my total. I've first added up the pounds first, and then I've added the pence to get my answer. So I know how much a cup of tea and a slice of cake would cost. And that's quite straightforward. If I move on to the next question, Lee wants juice and a toasty. Juice and a toasty. So here we go. Juice, how much does juice cost? £1.45. Okay, it's £1.45. I know that. How much does a toasty cost? A toasty costs £2.80. Now, I think you could add up the pounds first here. You could add up the pounds, that's fine. But what they've done here, and what you could probably do this in your head. 2 add 1 is 3, 80 add 45, 80 add 20 would be £1. So then I'd have £3 plus another pound, I'd have £4 plus I've had 25p left over. But probably a really good way, as soon as we get into amounts over £1, if we remember here, my pennies, my pence were under £1. So here, 80 and 45 is over £1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert these numbers into pence. So £1.45 becomes 145 pence. £2.80 becomes 280 pence. Then what I've done now is I have done a column addition. Ones, tens, hundreds. These are pence, not pounds. I've got 145 pence. I make sure my 280p, my units are underneath each other, my tens are underneath each other, my hundreds are underneath. Really important, the setting out. As soon as we do column addition, I want you to be thinking, look, let's think about columns. They're the important things, columns. So 5 add 0 is 5. 4 tens and 8 tens. What 8 tens start off with? I will start off with the biggest number, the biggest digit, sorry. So 8 add 4. 8 in my head, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 tens. That's 2 tens here. Rename those 10 tens to 100. Now I've got 100, 200, 300, and the 100, 400. I end up with 425 what? I end up with 425 pence. Then I need to convert that back into pounds and pence. I know that my 400 pence is worth £4. Therefore, I end up with £4.24. The juice and toasty cost Lee in total £4.25. The total cost of the juice and toasty is 425 pence, but I would say that's what the shopkeeper isn't going to say. There's 425 pence. They're going to say that's £4.25. Okay, so let's have a look at the next four. Already had a go, please. Rub those off quickly. Again, very similar. What I've got here, just move that down to don't make a mess. I've got a coffee for £2.20 and a nice looking strawberry tart for £3.58. Okay, I'm partitioning the pounds up. So I've got £2, add the £3, which gives me £5. Then I'm taking the pence. I've looked at these pence. I know they're going to be under £1. 58 add 10 would be 68, add 20 is 78. I'm doing that in my head. So I end up with £5.78. Happy with that? Okay, that's An easy one, isn't it? Go up here. Okay, second question. Okay, so second question. I've got £1.80 and £1.45. You probably agree that that is harder to do in your head. You can do it in your head, of course, but it's probably more difficult. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to convert my £1.80 into pence, and that gives me 180 pence. I'm now going to do column addition, so it's really important that I line up the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. My second amount is £1.45, which is the equivalent to £1 100 pence, and I've got another 45, so 145 pence. Now I do my column addition. 0 plus 5 is 5. 8 tens, add 4 tens. 12 tens. I put 2 tens in the tens column. I rename that 10 tens and it becomes a 100. Now I've got 100, 200, 300. I have ended up with 325 pence. I ended up with 325 pence. I'm not going to say that in a shop, it costs 325 pence. I'm going to say it's £3.25. Because I know that 300 pennies is £3, so therefore 325 pence is £3.25. Okay, happy with that? Thumbs up. Well done, everybody. Let's keep going. I might just do the first one of this. Okay, let's have a look. Can everyone see that? Hopefully, let's rub these out. Okay, the wonders of modern technology. So the tills show the cost of some items from the cafe. This total £1.99. How can I get £1.99 from these numbers? I'm going to look at my units first. Have I got any nines? Have I got any nines in my units? Have I got any nine? Oh, what's this? I've got 79. So 99 take away 79 would be 20. So I need to find something £1.20. £1.20. Can you say anything for £1.20? Oh, I see. So I think the two items that cost £1.99 are tea and water. £5.12. Oh, this is a bit more of a challenge. This one is £5.12. Let's have a look. So I'm looking at my units. I'm looking at my units. I want a 2. I've got a 2 here. I've got a 2 here. Oh, now Mr. Jones is super smart. I need £5.12. Now I know that the only 2 I've got anywhere in my units, I've got a 2 in here. So I need it. One of them's got to have a 2p, or add up two units have got to add up to a 2. I know this is one of them. Okay, so then if I get, I could do an inverse addition, and I could do 500 take away the 2. Oh, sorry, take away the 232. 2 take away 2 is 0. I could do 4. 11 tens, take away 3 tens, 8 tens. 280 pence I'm left with. Is there any item on this list that costs 280 pence? I can convert this to pounds and pence. I know that 200 pence is equal to £2. And I've got 80p left over. Is there any item on my cafe's list that costs £2.80? I am going to be very greedy and I'm going to have toasty and a slice of cake. And a slice of... Okay, so what I would like us to do now, you can have a go if you're feeling really up to the challenge. After you've done the questions today, you can have a go at this challenge question and send it to me. And I'm going to do that one tomorrow, if anyone sends it in. Okay, so let's have a look at our questions that I'm setting for tomorrow. These are all based on adding two prices usually together to get a total. So add in some numbers, some money numbers. Okay, some prices. Okay, let's have a look. Here, ooh, nice and easy. Question A, that won't take very long at all. Question B, again, that looks nice. We're adding one total and another total. One amount to another amount to get a total. Okay, same here. Question 2, quite straightforward. I'm sure everyone's going to whiz through these. And the final questions are on this. So if you need a screenshot, have a screenshot and hopefully send them to Mr. Jones tomorrow, but later in the day, and we will mark them and see how you did it. Add in some money, add in money questions. I would imagine it's going to be subtraction tomorrow, so hopefully you've got your column subtraction heads on. So remember, you can convert them to pence, and then you can use column addition, or you can do it more mental partitioning approach. So either works, whichever you feel more comfortable with, or you can perhaps even prove it by using both systems to check your work. Okay, so have a lovely rest of the day. Hopefully it won't snow too much, or hopefully it will snow a bit more and we can build some snowmen. So have a lovely day, and I'm looking forward to seeing your work tomorrow. Keep well, nearly half term, waving to you. See you bye, year 3.